Alright, good day everybody. Morioka is a pretty nice place to live. So today I will be talking to you about a place called Takuboku Honeymoon House. And it's only about 10 minutes from Morioka Station, or about 10-15 minutes from Iwate University. And it's the only samurai house left in Morioka. And it was built about 160 years ago. The reason it's preserved is that a famous poet named Takuboku Ishikawa lived there. Alright, so the house has been changed a little bit. It used to be a thatch roof, which is like made of grass. So they had to change that to meet the modern fire standards. So it has a steel roof now to protect against fire. But inside is preserved as it was before. When you enter, you can see there's a picture of him and his wife, some of his writings in the entrance. And you go into the back, you see a smaller room. And that room was for his writing, so he used to write in there. On the left of that is a big room, and I think there's a big koto in there. And then at the front is another big room, probably. Here's the entrance. Lots of pictures and writings. High ceiling. Alright, so now let's talk about Takuboku Ishikawa. So he was born in a small village called Shibutani, north of Morioka, and it's part of Morioka now. He went to elementary school there and junior high school. But he first published his first work at age 13, so junior high school, in 1899. And then 2 years later, he published some more writings into Iwate Nippo, the Iwate newspaper. And then he soon quit school to go to Tokyo to learn more about writing. And then he published something called The Ideas of Wagner. And 1905, he published some more poems called Akogare. And then also in 1905, he got married. And then with his wife, they had 3 children. And then he returned to Shibutani to be a substitute teacher. And then he wrote, when he was a teacher, Kumo wa Tensai Dearu, which is the clouds are geniuses. And then in 1907, he moved to Hakodate. He became a substitute teacher there as well. And he also worked for the local newspaper called Nichi Nichi Shimbun. And then in 1907, actually, there was a big fire in Hakodate. And he lost his job at the school. The school burned down and the newspaper burned down too. So then he returned to Tokyo. In Tokyo, he worked for the Kushiro and Asahi Shimbun. And then he published more poems called Ishiyaku no Suna, A Fistful of Sand. And then that was in 1910. In 1912, he returned to Morioka. And his mother was ill at that time. And then she died of tuberculosis in April. And he died about a month later in 1912. So the other big room, and this is called Tokonoma. So this is where people put like important documents or flower arrangements. The closet there, and then you can see we see on the other side of that. So Takuboku Honeymoon House is located just off Chuo Dori, about 50 meters. It's easy to see. You'll see a big sign on the main street. Regarding the business hours, so from April to November, the house is open from 9 in the morning until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then from December to March, in the winter, it's open from 10 to 6 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's closed on Tuesdays. And also it's closed between December 26th and January 4th for the New Year's holiday.